welcome back to Googie's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis and today I want to show you how to make my delicious creamy no cream chicken stew. As I just mentioned, today we are going to be making a creamy no cream chicken stew. Now this recipe is really easy to do. Today is going to be a really hot day in the UK and I never really like standing by a hot oven trying to cook when it's really warm. So when this sort of weather comes and we still want a really nice meal in the evening, I normally use my slow cooker to cook the food. I'll turn it off about an hour before we want to eat it and let it cool down a lot. But yeah, this is a great way to have a hot meal on the table during the warmer weather. It means you don't have to stand over the stove and cook, and it also means you don't have to stand by the oven and sweat buckets. So while I was making it, I thought I'd share this recipe with you. So here is how to make my delicious creamy no cream chicken stew. So for this recipe I have sliced one leek, which I'm going to put into the slow cooker pot. So I've just sliced it roughly. It doesn't have to be fancy or anything like that. So I'm just going to put that in, and then I've sliced and diced one courgette, and I also peeled that. Peeling is up to you. You can leave the skin on or you can take it off. It's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to put that into my slow cooker pot. And then I've got one carrot that's sliced and diced as well. So I'm just going to chuck that in too. And then I have, what have I got here? I have potatoes, which have just fallen all off, but never mind. I've got 4 potatoes. I'd probably say I've got about 600 grams of potatoes. I'm making this as if it serves 4, and that's what it says in the recipe, but if you want to halve that, then please go ahead. So I've got about 600 grams of potatoes that I've just peeled and chopped into about 1-inch pieces, I'd say. That's probably a 1-inch piece. And I'm just going to put that in now. And then I've also got a yellow pepper that I've sliced and diced. I removed the core and the stalk and I just sliced and diced the flesh of it. And then I've also got butternut squash. So I got a big butternut squash and I cut it in half. So I've probably got about 200 grams of butternut squash that I'm also going to put into my pot. And I've sliced and diced that into about 2 centimetre pieces. I've done it quite chunky because I like stew quite chunky. So I'm just going to pick up these potato pieces. My surface is clean. I did clean it before I started this video. And then I've got 2 bay leaves that I'm going to put in. And I've got 2 or 3 stalks of rosemary. Now bay leaves grow in my garden. I'm quite lucky that they do. Bay leaves, if you want to grow herbs in your garden, bay leaves is a good one because they grow anywhere and they grow in the worst conditions, but they will just keep growing. So they're a great herb to have in the garden. And I've also got rosemary growing in my garden, and that's another one to grow in bad soil conditions or good soil conditions. So I'm going to put those in, and then I've also got garlic granules as well. So I'm going to sprinkle over some garlic granules. 1 teaspoon of garlic granules, and then I've got some dried oregano as well that I'm going to sprinkle over. And then here comes the secret part. Okay, so in my NutriBullet cup I have blended about 100 grams of my cashew nut cream cheese, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. And I also have about 500 ml of milk in here as well. And that is my creamy no cream chicken stew. That's the basis of it. I use cashew nuts, and hopefully while it's cooking the cashew nuts will also thicken as well and make the sauce really lovely and thick and creamy. And then I've got about 500 ml of chicken stock here as well. And I'll put my chicken stock recipe in the description box below too. And I'm just going to shake that around so I get the residue of all the cream off as well. I'm going to put that in, and then I'm going to grab myself a spoon. I won't be a minute. I've got myself a spoon, and now what I'm going to do is just stir all of these ingredients together like so. And then I'm just going to add a bit of salt and pepper as well. add some salt to this too, and a little bit of pepper as well. Just probably not too much as it's freshly ground pepper. My son is not a spice lover. He likes a little bit of heat but not too much, so I try not to put too much pepper in things. So I'm just going to stir all of these ingredients together, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it in at the wall, and then later on I'm going to add chicken to this. Now in the original recipe I think I said you can use ordinary chicken or you can use cooked chicken. So this is a roast dinner I had. This is the leftovers from a roast that I had probably a couple of weeks ago. They've been in my freezer. I've defrosted them, so I'm going to go and put those in the fridge, and I'll put those in later. But if you are using chicken, I would suggest you put it in with all of the other ingredients, and it'll cook up beautifully in the slow cooker as well. This isn't an advert for slow cookers, but this does make my life so easy. And if you are thinking of investing in one, then please do. I will link this one in the description box below if I can find it as well. So yeah, I'm off to plug this into the wall now, and I'll be back later to show you what to do next. So I've just added my cooked chicken to this recipe, and if you are using uncooked chicken, as I mentioned earlier, you can add it at the beginning or you can fry it off and add it in at the end if you want to as well. So I'm just stirring this all round, and that's my cooked chicken gone in. And now I'm just going to add a handful of spinach as well, a couple of handfuls of spinach. I'm going to stir that in, and then I'm going to let this spinach wilt down. And as it's such a hot day, I'm actually going to turn this off now at the wall and down here, and I'm going to leave this to cool down. So I'm just going to leave the lid off now and let this cool down so it's a bit cooler for us to eat later. So my creamy no cream chicken stew is now done, and I'm just going to serve myself a little bit for my dinner, and that's it basically. So that's how you make this delicious dish, and this recipe and the cream cheese recipe I will link in the description box below for you. But for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave any comments below, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.